For more on COVID-19 and China's response, I'm joined now by Shen, the President and Chief Executive Officer of RNAimmune, a company focusing on the development of treatments and vaccines. So, Dong, we're seeing countries like Peru and Brazil take part in clinical trials to make sure that they don't get left out of the vaccine race. How big is the disparity between rich and poor countries when it comes to access of a future vaccine? Does the most money win here?
Yeah, but the problem here is really the famous word is no one will be safe until everybody will be safe. So it's really not matter it's the rich country or it's the poor country. So we really need to provide the solution, provide the vaccine to all areas. So that's the most important goal. So that's why for the rich country, you see in the States, they have multiple programs. But we really need to take care of those kind of, less fortunate country. Those kind of, or you're talking about the poor country. So, yeah.
Well, give us a vaccine update and what you're watching. Which companies have a promising lead? We heard that Sinovac is in late-stage trials, has emergency approval in China, and they seem far ahead of anyone else. Of course, they got a huge start, but are you optimistic about its outcome, and what other trials are you watching right now?
So actually, so every country is pouring the money and to those kind of vaccine development, include the States and also include the UK and obviously China. And you just mentioned the China vaccine has got the EUA, emergency using authorization. But if you look the UK vaccines, the chimpanzee adenovirus vaccine, they are very promising. And in the States, we have Moderna's messenger RNA vaccines and also BioNTech, those messenger RNA vaccines. And so everything looks like good. Also don't forget Russia. Russia, they already have granted the approval for their own vaccines. So to me, so I'm confident, and by the end of the year, so we are going to have not just one, we are going to have several vaccines which will have the EUA, emergency using authorization, and hopefully there's one got a full approval based on the phase 3 clinical trial data.
Let's turn to this mass testing program that just got underway in Hong Kong. It seemed that Wuhan did this mass testing program. It put that city on the path to normalcy. But does Hong Kong even have enough cases to warrant a program like this? Would it be more effective to test people in places with far more cases?
Yeah, so for any kind of infectious disease, and specifically if we're talking about the pandemic, so the early detection, the tracking, the isolation is always the key. So I think China already did that in Wuhan. They did all those kind of tests in Wuhan. And I think right now Hong Kong really face the second wave, third wave or fourth wave, whatever you say, but we do see there's an increase of the case. So under this kind of scenario, I think the central government, they did a right decision, which is they are going to do massive those kind of tests. And most important things, it will be free. It'll be free for all the Hong Kong residents. And also, if you're talking about the population, and the Hong Kong population is 7.5 million, which is close to the population of Wuhan. So my message is really very simple and very short. If Wuhan can do that, why Hong Kong cannot do that? And also based on the past experience, I think China is really experienced, is good at those kind of early detection. And for those kind of positive case, we can put those kind of patient to either the hospital for treatment or for the isolation facility, and then we really can stop those kind of transmission chain. So that's the key. And then we have the chance back to normal. And I, as a business, I have a business. I do heard about the investor. They complain about the current scenario because when people they go to Hong Kong, they need to be isolated for 14 days. When they back to the mainland China, they have to be isolated again for 14 days. So that's really inconvenient. So I think massive detection, and that's the key, and that's the right way to go. So I fully support for that decision.
All right, Shen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.